Wine mid test. Now this is the first time I've done a blended test, a blended class, purely blended class, where we're tasting in class and studying online. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever did a pure blended class like this. The other classes, like the cooking class, obviously a cooking class online, who knows what you can do with that. It's pretty worthless. But this class, I think, probably has a very good potential to be a good learning experience. You guys have definitely studied a lot more information, look at it that way, than anything else. I wonder, so what's going to be good about this is that I'm going to be able to find out, actually, all you guys, how you do on this. This is, what time is it? It's 11:30. Test day, the 20th, 12:30. We're going to meet, and here's the test. Now I changed it up a bit. I made it actually a little easier than I normally do, because a lot of your stuff is studied online. But the questions that I put in here are the things that I talk about all the time. The one thing like cast, barrel, I mean, this is acidity, herbaceous, body, bouquet. These are words when we're tasting we talk about all the time. So you guys should do good on that one, because we talked about it all the time. The 4 V's, obviously, right? That's one. The 5 classifications, still wine, sparkling wine, port, fortified wine, so sorry, I said port. Blush and rosé. And blush and rosé in some books and things like that have a 2 meanings in it. Sometimes they consider it the same, but blush is really chapitized. And after when you're watching this, the following videos are going to talk about Beaujolais, blush wines, and threw a beer in there. Whiskey, I'm sorry, distillation in there, because we talked about that earlier. And that's a good thing. I found the beer one. Maybe I'll post that one. You don't have to study anything that's like off wine topic, like beer and whiskeys. You don't have to study that stuff. But once again, it's interesting, and it's a good place to learn. There's no reason. That's what I say. Online, you can do a lot of this stuff. And some books do have blush and rosés as the same, but blush is chapitized. There's sugar added to that, so it's more blended. Port wines excuse me, I have a hard time speaking today. Port wine, not port wines, rosés, excuse me. It's hard to get a good rosé here. There's Mateus, there's quite a few good Portuguese rosés on the market in America, but here it doesn't seem to be very popular. And I don't know why, because it's a less tannic red wine, basically. It's usually made from red grapes, or a blend of red grapes, but less tannic. Which is that word on there? Let's see, it should be. No, I even pulled that off. And tannic is that drawing mouthfeel that you get. Mouthfeel and body, basically the same thing. Let's see what else we got on here. Vinous vinifera. Anything that begin with V. I kept telling you guys, anything that began with V is important. Varietal. What is a varietal? Type of grape used for making wines. Name at least 3 anchor grapes. I gave you a list of 12, but I mean, if you write down Merlot, Chardonnay, and Cabernet Sauvignon, game over. But there's a lot more out there. Pinot Noir, Garnacha, etc. And then I did the true false. Hopefully the Korean is good. Once again, I try to avoid putting that on there, but I want to make it like I said, I want to make the test a little easier for you guys. Not because I don't think you're up to it, but I don't know how much information you're absorbing online. So, and hopefully the Korean is clear. If not, we'll talk about that anyway. What is viticulture? The art of growing grapes for winemaking, viticulture. And once again, I repeated that several times in class. Mixture of the skin, semen, juice, the must, M-U-S-T, the must. When you mix the grapes themselves with leaves and stems and all this, and you press it, that's called the must. And if you, once again, red wine and white wine basically start out the same way. in the aspect that you squeeze the grapes. But red wine, the must has the stems and the leaves and the skins that are left in the must. Where white wines are squeezed gently and the juice is taken out and filtered a lot. A lot of them mostly filtered. I haven't seen a cloudy white wine in 40 years. You used to see it a lot more, because 40 years ago wine was a little more organic. Now it's pretty much it's kind of recipe made. They can't, like I said, if find a bad bottle today is very, very rare. I haven't had a bad bottle in years, and if it is, it's probably because some guy left it in the back of his truck in the sunlight, something like that, or got cold frozen. That'll change it a lot too. What are the 8 S's? See, swirl, swirl, swirl. That's, once again, we've done that so many times. Then I put a bonus question on there: largest wine producers in class. Right, that's a bonus question, so you don't have to worry about that. But overall, it's a pretty easy test. And today is the 20th, and then the 27th you'll have an online class. Next week will be an online class. That's what this is going to be about, actually. But after the test, I'm going to come back and take and review this with you guys. I'll block the names out, just out of curiosity to see if you guys do good. Hopefully you do good. We can, if you do, we can. But if you guys do really poorly on this, we might have to have permitting face-to-face classes. And I guess I'll put them online anyway. But once again, like I said, it's not a really sommelier course. This stuff is pretty basic. Pretty easy stuff, and I just want to make sure that you guys can pick up a bottle. That's why reading the label is very important, and we'll go over that again. Just because that's power. Trust me. You pick up a bottle of wine, you look at it, and go, oh, Cabernet Sauvignon from Burgundy region. Oh, this is going to be pretty tannic. We win. If you can get to that point, that's all I want you guys to pick up a bottle and go, oh, that vintage is too old. Oh, that vintage is too young. And you know, I don't have anything here about vintages, but maybe the final test. But 2-year-old white wine, perfect. 3 to 5 year old red wine, perfect. It depends on the year, the vintage itself, and it takes a lot of study to find out what's good and what's not at that time. Buying wines through school is a little difficult. I used to go to Costco, and Costco has a really good selection of wines. And any of you students, if you guys ever want to meet at Costco and look at the wines, just look at the wines. It's an education itself. They have a lot of world wines. They have a lot of German wines, Australian. They have everything in there, and a lot of American wines. Which, if you go to Shinsegae, they don't really carry a lot of American wines. They do have a lot of European wines, but they're usually like Iman and Moore. The same wine, same year, same vintage, same varietal. Iman and Moore at Shinsegae. So I don't know. School, I give them a list. They say yes. They can say no. I had a hard time with it. They said that they can't get Australian wines, and it's like, really? Australian wines? They're the most common wines in Korea right now. So I don't know what that's all about. Now they did have a lot of wildfires, but as far as I know, it didn't affect the grape growing regions. Not like California. California, we got lucky with the American wines, that's for sure. They're pretty expensive to get, and you saw the prices were pretty moderate. But the next tasting class is going to be the 4th of May. 4th of May we'll be tasting French wines. He's got a Saint Emilion coming in, which is good. The year I'm not sure. The vintage, I'm not sure about that, but that should be a good one. I asked to see if he could get a Chardonnay, and your homework too. Hopefully you guys start doing your homework, because I do have 2 bottles of non-alcoholic Cabernet Sauvignon. But the idea is that you guys give me a formula. We'll figure out we'll get some vodka, which is 80%. So we're gonna have to fudge the numbers a bit. So put 17% of 750. It doesn't sound very difficult. What a calculator would be. And then we'll taste it without alcohol, and then with alcohol. We're gonna see where we get on that, and maybe I'll get an inexpensive, probably a Chilean Cabernet Sauvignon, because I like them personally. For the price, they're very, very good, and we can taste it along side by side. I think it would be kind of interesting. It's a new thing. It's something I never tried before, and I think you might find it interesting. I know I will. So Anyway, looking at the time. Okay, well, I'm going to pause this now, and I'll come back, and we'll talk about the results of your tests. Okay? See you in a little while. And there we go. Okay. Back with the test. Back with your homework. Very interesting. I glanced at it while you guys were doing the test when you're turning it in. You guys got done very quickly. You know, this homework, and I'll take off the name. Very impressive. Very showed the math. It really showed the math. But really, what I really was looking for, and a lot of you guys have it, is a real simple answer. Now, the funny part about it is I try to get pure ethanol. Apparently, you can't get that in Korea. Not that drinkable quality. Here's a good one. Let's see, 90 milliliters. I think 103 is the answer I came up with. 12%. Okay, well, anyway, that's what I'm looking for. Any of my homework, I'm really not looking for anything more than that. You know, I don't need pictures and things like that. I was just impressed with the first one, the rocket science, that's for sure. Somebody gave me Hammurabi. You know, that was week 2 homework. You know, I don't know what to do about that. Nothing. Labor the laws. Yeah, so someone gave me the notebook. Oh, the homework sheet written on the bottom. Well, okay, I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that. He gave me the rest of the notebook. That's fine. Once again, it's really important that you guys, 99% of you guys did homework. Whether math is right or not, that's all right with me. The idea is that you guys try. Is what it is. The same thing in cooking class. I don't expect perfection. I expect safe, wholesome food, yes, but I don't expect 5 stars. So that looks good. And then to look at the tests. Once again, there's a lot of A pluses here. I see that. Maybe it was a little too easy. I asked a group of students what they thought about it from 1 to 10. They said it was a 7. 10 being the hardest and 1 being easiest. That's fine. Vintage, variety, vineyard location, vintner. A little misspelling there, but I understand. Once again, the sparkling, fortified, rosé, blush. Blush spelled with a G, glush. But I know it's blush. And fortified wines. Okay, a cask is a barrel for aging wine. That's all it is. Acidity is the amount of acid or bitterness that would be in a wine. Herbaceous, herb smell, fine with me. Body, wine texture. That's a good one. Body could be, once again, mouthfeel. If you put mouthfeel in there, I'd accept that too. Bouquet, right? Many smells, not just singular, but many, that's fine. Quaffer is a wine you like to drink. We had some quaffers already, and we'll have some more. Wines that are just fun to drink, especially when you get into blushes and things like that. Finish, last taste, or how long you taste is really what I'm looking for, but last taste, acceptable. Cellaring, aging. That's all. Put aging in there, that's all it is. Nose and aroma, that works. Bouquet. Nose is basically the smell of the wine. Let's see what we got. Vinus vinifera, a type of grape used for making wine. That's correct. Varietal is a type of grape, right? Type of grape. Now, anchor grapes, so you've got a variety of answers on the anchor grapes. Which I found interesting, because some guys try to spell Gewürztraminer. I wouldn't even try to spell that, to be honest with you. But Zinfandel, Chardonnay, Merlot. Let's see what we got here. Riesling, Merlot, Chardonnay. No, Cabernet's only on. A surprise. Maybe too long. But I gave it to you before the test. I told you what it was. Red grapes, green grapes, white grapes. No, sorry. I'm sorry. That doesn't really work. A lot of you guys didn't put the date on there. And that's interesting. Maybe I'll make that final test. It'll be 10 points. You should put the date on it. I don't know why you guys don't. Cabernet Merlot, 10 Noir, but I'm sure you need Pinot Noir. So I'd give that one. I'll give you credit on that one. That's fine. Let's see. Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Sauvignon Blanc. You guys have a good. There's actually a lot of good variety of anchor grapes we got there. XO, I'll have to go over that on another day because obviously it's in there. Viniculture is the art of growing grapes for producing wine. Mixture of skin, stems, juice, and seeds is called the must, M-U-S-T. What's the next question? The 8 S's, see, swirl, sniff, swallows, swish, I don't know. Well, you guys should got that one. That's just, let's see. Somebody wrote the answers in Korean, and that presents a problem because I have to actually ask a teacher to read that to me, and that's not their job. Sometimes they don't mind doing it, but it depends how many I have too. That's one so far. Too many is too much, right? And like I said, if I have to ask somebody to help me, either they say yes or they say I'm too busy, and that's the way it goes with that. But overall, it does look like a lot of you guys do. There's quite a few A pluses in here, quite a few actually, which I would expect anyway. You're a good group, that's for sure. You have to go over it more. The following videos: Beaujolais Nouveau and a mulled wine. That's a thing, and we might do sangria in class too. Summertime is good. Today's a hot day. Test day was hot. That's for sure. For me, it's hot. We might make sangria in class. Maybe we'll work through this group, each table, giving a recipe. There's all kinds of recipes for sangria, but mulled wine is actually a spin-off of Roman style wines, because Romans used to add a lot of stuff to their wine: herbs, sugars, honeys. Even if they could get it, ginger, black pepper. They changed it. They always added water to their wine too. They thought it would be barbaric to drink wine straight up. They always added something to it. The way I feel about coffee. Black coffee is barbaric. It's not finished yet. You need something else. I usually prefer cold milk. It's nice. A little heavy cream is really nice too. The fats in it cuts the grease. The grease cuts the acid in the coffee. Now, one student said they studied the wrong thing, like cheeses and things like that. And no, that's not. I put that in there because we have cheeses in class. We'll be eating more cheeses. Maybe we'll even get some blue cheese. Blue cheese and crackers, very nice with apple. Very delicious. Oh, for port wine, I'll do that. That's for sure. Yeah, that's very nice. So that's what the cheese, but that's not really test material. And I said I had 2 videos on whiskey and beers. Once again, it's a wine class, but it's an alcohol-related thing, and there's nothing wrong with you guys studying a little extra. Once again, I always tell students, chase the information, don't chase the grades. Chase information, don't chase the grades. Because when you get out of school and you're working, and you're meeting people, and as you get older, you see how much people do talk about wines and whiskeys, especially whiskeys in Asia, East Asia. Whiskey is a real popular thing. So, I mean, if you could tell a double malt between a single malt, Yeah, you're going to impress some people. Like I said, with the key point of this wine class is that you can pick up a wine bottle and read the label to somebody, and they're going to say, "Well, what does it taste like?" You go, "Well, it's a Merlot, so it's going to be slightly tannic, but not as much as a Cabernet." And I go, "Oh, so you know wines? I know a little." Okay, that's it for this video. I have a lot of homework myself to do. So anyway, have a good test week. You're gonna actually get this next week. You're gonna get this the 27th. So have a good weekend then. Or no, I'll see. Have a good week. Sorry about that. Bye guys. Good luck. Thank you very much.